they lost. No, they're too hard to reach. I said, that's the kids I want.
Yeah.
The ones that are lost, that you feel that are lost, the ones that are hard to reach, they're the ones I want. Because they're the ones that's going to change the
Without a
game.
doubt.
You've got to take a positive out of every negative. Because if you focus on the negative, you're not going to grow.
And you're going to lose sight of what is actually positive in your life.
That's right.
You know, if you are watching and you need people to give you that advice, to give you that sort of consultancy, reach out. All right. Welcome back to Xconversations.
Come on.
I'm your host, Zachariah Khalil, aka Zach, aka Big AK. To my left, we've got the co-host, Mr. Gasconi, aka
Come
Mystic, aka Mr. Come On.
Come on.
How you been, bro? You been good?
I'm good, you know. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm happy
man.
to be in this new space.
You
know what I mean? It's nice in here, man.
Exactly. We've got to big up JR and the whole Salute team.
Therefore, big up the Salute team, man.
Pepper Street Studios.
Come on.
Live and direct.
Come on, man.
So without further ado, to my right, we have the man, Piper,
Come on.
aka Derrick, in the studio. Legend.
Hey, let's that one out round the
Legend, yeah. Trust me.
That's the big dog, you know.
The big.
That's the big homie.
Wow, you're not making me too big.
That's the big homie right there, man.
Social entrepreneur, charity owner, youth worker, youth outreach worker, just doing major things, and we're gonna get into it, and you're gonna learn a lot more about him. So, yeah, my bro, I'm so happy that you decided to come on.
I'm glad to come on. Like you said, this place is beautiful. I love what you guys are doing, and I had to get a part of it.
No, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. You know, when I reached out, and you was just like, yeah, cool. I was just like, wow, this is
mad, isn't it?
Like, bro, like, you know, sometimes you expect you're gonna hear, yeah, but he was just like, cool, let's do it. And
yeah,
listen, this was what it's about. You know, we all got to come together for the common good.
Exactly.
And that's what it's about.
Exactly. And you know, here on Xconversations, that's what we're here to do. We're here to champion the man them that are, you know, they've been in the mud, they've been in the streets, involved in this thing, and have turned it round. Full 360 or 180, should I say? Not even 360 or 180, you know, giving back. I say 360 because 180 means you've turned it around and you're gone.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I see it. But you see, when it's 360 now, you're coming back now to give back. Do you get what I'm saying? You've made your change. And now you're coming back to, like, bring people back, or at least repair some of the damage you've done. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
I love that.
You know what I'm
repair
saying?
the damage you've done, and that's what it is.
100%. So I would just like to get into, like, how or what. No, you know what? Give us a brief little introduction about what the stuff you do now.
Okay, so what I do now is I do outreach work, like we touched on. So I'll go out, I speak to the youth, I speak to the kids that nobody wants to speak to. The kids that the gang leaders, the kids on the street who are rude, who are facey. I go out, I speak to those. I have the youth clubs I'm doing. I work with kids. I engage with kids through music, through boxing, through martial arts. I'm working with SEN kids. Wow. I'm going to prisons. Wow. I'm going to schools. I'm working with the Prison Reform Trust.
Wow.
So I'm doing a lot. I'm keeping busy.
That's cold, man. That's some amazing work, man.
And that's what's needed, because, you know, like, especially with the prison reform, let me just touch on that quickly. They need someone that's been in that system, that knows it, and can actually tell them, yo, there's certain things that ain't working.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's key, because prison, I think, is a breeding ground. It's either you're going to fix up in there, or you're going to come out with this another link and this, and you're going to be, your criminal CV is going to go, woof.
And that's what happens. Generally, most people I know go jail. They come out and they've got links. If they went in for fraud, they come out, they're doing something else. And that's what it's about. That's what the prison was about for most people. But for me, I think after my sentence was for me was a change of life experience. I can say it's my calling. My calling was to change my life and do good with the youth and the community that I come from.
Yeah.
I went to prison, changed my life.
Okay.
Most people change their life for bad, but it changed my life for good. I used every negative experience I've gone through in life as a positive experience.
And that creates a tough mentality,
That's
right?
right. You've got to take a positive out of every negative, because if you focus on the negative, you're not going to grow.
And you're going to lose sight of what is actually positive in your life.
That's right.
You know? So let's touch on that. So you grew up in Newham, Plaistow area.
Yes.
So like, what was life like for you? What era was it when you was coming into your own? Like, what was the? What were the times?
So I was a bad breed. I'll be straight with you. I'm not gonna tell you I was one of those children. If my mum had me, or if my son was like me, I'll go mad. I left home at the age of 15. I was living in Leeds.
Okay.
My whole thing was coming from an African family.
Yeah.
So at the time when I was growing up, it was. I'm gonna go deep.
Yeah.
If you don't mind. I'm gonna
Go ahead.
deep.
No, go true, bro.
So the time I was growing up, and the time I was there, was African parents.
Yeah.
They didn't have no papers.
Yeah.
So it was a thing where they were working. They didn't have time to make sure I was doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Their thing was go to school, get an education.
Let us pay the
Let
bills.
us pay the bills. They couldn't get too mixed up with the police stuff because they didn't have no papers.
Yeah.
And through that, it became a thing where I ended up getting to foster care.
Okay.
I went through home.
Okay.
You know, so I went through the whole system.
So he was introduced to the system.
Yeah,
early.
I introduced the system at a young age. Bear in mind, if I go back before that, I was born here, then I lived here for ages, then I was told I was going to Ghana on holiday.
Oh, you got the one-way ticket.
The one-way ticket.
Hey.
I remember going to Ghana on holiday with my parents. They've taken me to Kumasi and they said to me, we'll be back. Oh. 2 years later, I'm searching for my passport.
I was in an embassy box.
Yeah, bro. Listen, it was only because of my older sister who was over here, so I was kept writing.
Okay.
So I
Get me
found my
back, get me
passport,
back.
but obviously I couldn't get back. So my older sister got me a ticket.
Okay.
And I ended up coming back.
Okay.
So
Big up your older sister, though.
Yeah, man. All day. There's too much love for her. All day. So I went through. So I come back angry. And I tell you, when I come back, it was a time where it was all about boo-boo this, boo-boo that, boo-boo this. You couldn't say you was an African.
Yeah.
So it was hard times. And when I came back, I came straight into living in Chinford Estate. And then in the weekends, I'll go to Summer Leighton. My mum and dad lived in Summer Leighton.
Okay,
My
so you're
foster
going
parents-
east and south.
Yeah, that's south.
Yeah.
I'm going, them times in Brixton was Brixton right. And I'm leaving there and I'm coming to Chinford Estate where we're playing up cars in the car park. So I was just surrounded by badness. But at the same time, it was one of those where I was just a fighter.
Okay.
Because people was always taking the mick out of Africans, this, African, that.
Yeah.
I started to fight at a young age. So I went through a lot of different schools. I got kicked out of a lot of secondary schools. So, which spawned my badness. So
You see,
again,
sorry to cut you. Just to touch on that schools, you was kicked out of schools. Yeah. Do you think like if the schools recognised what the issue was, it would have helped you better?
most definitely. Because one of the problems I had was that going to school in Ghana, I was so fast educated that when I came to England,
You was
the work-
ahead.
I was ahead. So the work that they were doing in school, I'd done it like I was in infant school.
You know what
Okay.
they say as well? See the education in Africa, it's more intense than it is here.
Yeah.
Bro, if you don't pass, you don't move up.
Don't move up.
Yeah.
There could be someone 16 years old still in primary school. I'm telling you.
Serious, bro.
Listen,
And you got to pay fees.
You pay fees
So
as well.
you're not paying to not mess about.
And you're getting beats as
Imagine you
well.
had to pay to go to
Yeah.
school. And there's the cane.
Cane.
You're doing your homework. Your homework's getting. So
Through that, obviously, I ended up going to different schools. Then I came to Newham.
Yeah.
And then I started, I went to Leicester School in Newham.
I went
got
Lister
Lister.
as well, you know.
Yeah.
We went
Lister
Lister,
as
you
well.
know.
Yeah, Leicester. That's
Yeah,
mad.
man.
Okay.
But was it purple them times?
No, we had no uniform. That tells you.
Okay.
That tells you. See what I mean?
See?
That tells you.
Luckily, did we have 1 year of the purple or
Nah,
was it
we
straight
came
black?
straight
Okay.
black.
When my brother went there, it was purple shirt, purple blazer. It was
Purple tie,
and
white
then my
shirt.
year they changed it to black. But
black.
anyway, go on.
We had no uniform, so that already was an offset.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a bad breed school. Because
If they can't get no one to wear uniform,
no
basically.
uniform. So I was going to school and I was one of those kids that the teachers always say, "You're never going to be no good. You're never going to be no good." You know, so it planted a seed in my head. So I devalued myself.
Okay.
So I put myself on the streets from a young age because there was
You
no
like,
point.
I weren't gonna make it.
I'm not
anyway.
going to make it in school anyway, so what's the point? And them times, like I said, my parents are working, they ain't got time. So I hit the streets from 12, 13, I was in the streets. I'm talking frontline streets, 12, 13. And them times there, I always hang around with older people. So I was so far ahead compared to my peers. In my money chasing, in the way I was thinking, that my peers couldn't keep up with me. So the only people I could move with was the
ones that are older than you.
me.
And they're properly involved.
And they're properly involved. So I remember man used to say to me, "You can't half step. You're either fully involved or you're." You understand?
And that's the truth of it, though. You know?
So I was I'm talking fully involved. Which now I sit back and I won't say it was a bad thing, but it was a road I had to go on for my journey to where
your
I
own
am
personal
now.
journey.
Yeah, for
without
my
a doubt.
personal journey now.
Do you think now, you see like how you said you fully immersed yourself, Do you think there was some way to pull you back early, or you just didn't have that in your life?
I didn't have love for myself. So if you don't have love for yourself, there's nothing anybody else can do.
Saying you didn't value yourself.
You didn't value yourself, and that's the problem we have with the kids now.
Because that way, like we were speaking on before we was rolling, that the kids don't value each other's lives.
No, of course not.
They're ready to take a life
Each other's
like
life.
it's nothing.
See, our days, if we fought and you beat me up, we touch base.
And keep it moving,
Keep
innit?
it moving.
Catch you on the next round.
Catch you on the next round. That's how it is. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, you keep it. But now things got messy. But again, like I said, things got messy. These kids only got to know about messiness because they were watching people like us and doing messiness. Or hearing stories. And most of these kids go by stories that they've heard.
And some stories have been hyped up so much that they're acting like, I want to reenact that, but it wasn't even that deep. It's created a big legend, isn't it?
So then through that, obviously, we had the Forest Gate. I don't want to use gang, but we had the Forest Gate group, I'll say. So obviously we was doing our thing. But at the same time, I had my South London connection.
Okay.
So I had Untouchables.
Untouchables.
Then I'll be Forest Gate. Then I'll go to Leighton because I went to school in Leighton. I went to George Mitchell.
Okay.
So I knew the Leighton boys. So I knew people around the place. So which helps me in my money making. You know what I mean? So which helped me in my money making. So it was a good thing knowing so many different people, but the people I knew were all bad people.
Okay.
I had the good people, but the good people were like my family's lot. Where because I was so bad, I was one of those kids that the family don't want their kids to mix with.
I know them ones.
You know them ones from an African family.
Yeah, from African family. They're like,
that guy.
You know your auntie's coming. That your cousin. Don't play with it. I know them ones.
And I was that guy.
Okay.
Every generation.
They don't even want to lecture you no more.
No.
The lectures they're tired of that.
Just don't play with that guy. No. Don't play. That guy is mental. He's not right. That's what.
But you know what? That's what I think. So see, sometimes, you have people that you get labelled a lost cause. I don't think there's a lost cause. Because you see that lost cause, you don't know that could be his cause. Like, for example, like you could touch him on a different one, and then he could do a mad change that so much impact can be created from it. But people just think lost cause. You don't know what hidden talents he's got. He doesn't even know what hidden talents he's got. Right. But you see that lost cause thing, that's something that I really think personally we need to get rid of that. That stigma, that label.
You see the work I do now, I've met so many different people and they say to me, they're lost. No, they're too hard to reach. I said, that's the kids I want. The ones that are lost, that you feel that are lost, the ones that are hard to reach, they're the ones I want. Because they're the ones that's going to change
without a doubt.
And make a bigger impact.
Listen,
without a doubt.
Come on.
Because if they're that deep in and you pull them out, how much money are you pulling out? How many things are you preventing from them being pulled out? Because you know what? From what I've noticed is, you see the ones that are on the fringes, that are enjoying whatever, but they're not the shot callers.
No.
You see the ones that are calling the shots. Once you remove them, that's like 5 men that are gone.
That's what.
Do you get what I'm saying? Because that 5 men are looking to my man for like that bit of exactly.
And that's what I do when I go and do outreach work. I go for the rude one, the baddest one out of the group. And when I break him down, the rest of them, it's like a domino effect. The rest of
Yeah.
them crumble.
Nah,
But the thing
domino.
is, I speak to these kids. I speak the same common language. You speak the same
Yeah.
language. But you take somebody from the government to go and speak. They don't speak that, so they take them as they're rude. They're this, they're that, because
They don't trust them.
they're not.
Yeah,
And then they're
No, but
coming.
you
They're
have to-
coming off. They're coming to them off in the first place.
You have to understand the people you're coming to speak
That's
to.
what I'm gonna say.
You can't just like this is what another thing that I think about government and all these governing bodies that you don't know the people you're coming to try and
know
help,
the community.
or you think you got the right structure to help them, but you don't know them.
Let me give you an example. Newham Council, for instance, they got people coming to help the youth, but the people coming to help the youth are not from. They're not from Newham.
Yeah.
So how are they going to understand?
How are you going to navigate?
What-
Well, you're gonna try and take a kid from south side of Newham into north side of Newham to do something, but he can't go there. But you don't know
They
that.
don't
Why?
understand. They have
Why?
no knowledge.
So you're gonna create more problems. No, that's true. That's true. Anyone who's watching, if you are watching, and you need people to give you that advice, to give you that sort of consultancy, reach out. We're here. You know what I'm saying? We're here to help. So if we help together, we can do something greater, hopefully. So, reach out. But yeah, so from your life, like you was involved in the roads. You're in this area, south. You're in east. You're all over east. What got you into like the major things that brought you into prison? What was it? What was that step that said, you know what, I'm going for it now?
You know what it is? I've always been a music person. So my initial thing was I was a musician. I was an MC.
Okay.
So I used to chat back in the day. I made my first record with Sweetie Irie and
Okay.
Winston Reedy.
Okay.
Back in the ragga days.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was a sound system. So I went through the sound system days and I got through to the drum and bass.
Okay.
I was MCing on Cool FM and whatnot.
Okay.
But that also gave me a different market. Back in the day, I was doing what I was doing. I was sending the little herb and doing what I was doing. But then when I started mixing with certain people, I started realising, well, you know what, you can make money. So me and my co-Ds, we decided to do certain
and
things.
dabble, yeah.
So we started doubling and it got past, there was no limit of money making. So we were just making money.
Okay.
But by that time, we were so deep into things, I was deep, my co-D was deep, we was...
Yeah.
Not
deep
too,
in, yeah,
not
I know.
too deep.
Not
but
to,
we-
obviously, you're not boasting.
yeah,
You're just
but
saying what it is,
we,
innit?
we was deep. We was deep in it. So we done a lot. But if I had to fast forward, after all that money we made, we went jail for $5,000. We ended up doing a big bird, because of $5,000.
Watch this. Similar to that, we was doing like robberies, my things out there. We was doing these cash and transit, whatnot. For the lowest amount I ever got is what I got my sentence. It was 8,000. See, I forgot the money. It was £8,300 around that, yeah. And we've been hitting other ones, but it's just that one.
That one, yeah.
So that's on the paperwork. Like, yeah, this is your paperwork. You know what I'm saying? And you sit there. No, but honestly, you sit there and you have to think. You've got this
read it
sentence.
and you think to yourself, what
All
the
right,
hell?
I'm in here now, 3.5 years for this amount of money. Let's break it down over the years. Bruv, it's less than 2.5 bags a year I'm sitting in prison for.
Mad.
It's not worth
It's
it.
not
You
worth
could work
it.
at McDonald's and
Bruv,
I
this
could
is
have
the thing.
exactly.
The
yeah.
people I left, the people when I went jail, the
Yeah.
people that weren't doing nothing when I went jail, when I came out of jail, they've worked 9 to 5 and they were living a better life.
True.
Do you understand? And I sat back and I thought to myself, rah,
What was I doing?
what was I doing? Do you
innit?
know what I mean? And that's the reality of it. Because no matter what you do, when you end up getting jail doing a big bird, it's always for something stupid.
Yeah.
It's never for what you make your most money from. And that was it.
Yeah.
So end up getting jail.
Yeah. How long was your sentence?
I got 8.
Okay.
So was the 8. We've done my 8.
Was that your? How many times have you been to prison?
That was my first time. My first time in jail. But I had escaped the law so many times.
You was one of them man that was just getting away.
But at the same time, my Cody, like, I have so much love for my Cody because my Cody saved me from going jail enough times.
Okay. Is that, look, I'm going to hold this
He
one.
holds the,
I'm gonna hold
the
this.
bird for me.
Okay.
Do you understand? Because he seen us like, that makes sense, both of us going jail.
True.
Do you understand?
No, that's true.
So
I rate
you
that.
know,
I respect that, man.
But that's something, we had something that worked because I trusted him. I trust him with my life, and he trusts me with his life.
Yeah.
So we had something there. So end up getting jail. My Cody was on license, so when we got nicked, he got recalled.
Okay.
So yeah, ended up going to jail. Got to jail.
What year was this?
218. 214.
214, okay.
214, yeah. So 214.
Yeah.
Got to jail. I thought to myself, wow. No, rewind back again.
Yeah.
We got nicked.
Yeah.
Cody went jail.
Yeah.
I got bail.
Okay.
I thought, huh? But the feds were smart.
Okay. They're watching you.
2 days before we got nicked, I went to Lakeside with my son.
Okay.
And there was a man looking at me.
White
and I
man.
even said, white man. I even said to my son, what's this guy keep looking at me at? Do you understand? But I'm not
You're
thinking.
not thinking, yeah.
2 days later, fast forward 2 days later, that same guy was saying, what's this guy looking at me?
It's
Was
arrested.
National
NC?
Crime Agency.
Wow.
They've been on us.
Oboes are different.
Different.
Different kind of oboes.
Bruv,
You know?
when I tell you the thing, it was mad.